doesn't have a system, you will die working. So let me tell you about myself. So picture this: 42 years old, with children, 3 children still in primary school, no job. Primary school is the equivalent of grade school, low grade school, if you're watching from the US. And then a debt to the equivalent of over 200,000 US dollars, including accumulated interest. I was owing 4 different financial institutions. And again, at the same time, I was behind in my rent for 8 months. That was my situation. That was exactly me. That was my situation. And I was 42 years old at the time. Excuse me. So at 42, I had run myself on the ground. I had run myself on the ground. Not because I had not earned a lot of money, because in 42 years, so much money had come into my hands, had come into my account, into my pocket. And I earned a lot of money working in Shell, then from Shell to Chevron, and then from Chevron back to Shell. I earned a lot of money, traveled around the world. But here I was, 42 years old. I had quit the job. I still had children in primary school, not even secondary school. I was behind in rent for 8 months. And worst of all, I was in debt, huge debt. And I remember how these financial institutions I was owing harassed the, I don't want to, something out of me. Calling me every day, harassing me on phone, wanting to collect their money and things like that. And one day, one of the banks that I was owing, I don't want to mention their names, one of the big banks in Nigeria, they came to my house, to where we were living, and repossessed my brand new Nissan Armada in the presence of my wife and my children. That's how low I went. I couldn't pay school fees, and then the school chased my children out of school because I couldn't pay. That was where I was. Now, so many people think that they are broke, like what I've narrated to you, my true life story. Many people are in that situation. And many people think that they are in that situation because they have little income. If that is the case, how would you explain my situation? Somebody who earned literally hundreds of thousands of dollars within my career, and yet I ended up what I have described to you. So it's not about not earning enough money, as we are going to see tonight. People are broke because their money has no seat belt. Please type it in the comment section. I always like this interaction. And I would like, as you are joining, to go ahead and introduce yourself once more and tell me where you are joining from. But you want to put this down, what I have just said. People are broke because their money does not have seat belt. What does that mean? The moment it enters their hands, it flies out the window. That was my situation. That was my case. My money had no seat belt. All the time I was working. All the time I was doing 9 to 5. And there are many of you watching this who are also 9 to 5. You're earning good money. You're earning good money, but at the end of it, you can't tell what happened to the money. Okay, so you see, a bucket with a hole, no matter how much water you pour into it, it will leak. Everything will leak out. And that is a life without a system. So what happened to me was not that I did not earn a lot of money. It's not that I didn't earn a lot of money, but I did not have a system. I did not have a system. And many of you listening to me are having financial difficulties. You're financially frustrated right now. You can't pay your bills. Inflation is eating up into your ability to buy food and sustain your family. You don't have a house of your own. And every month, it's a very huge battle to pay rent, to pay mortgage, to pay credit card debt, and all that. Every month is a very big battle. And the reason is that you do not have a system. So that's what I stumbled. That's what transformed my life. After that, I decided that my financial problem and my financial need was not more money, because more money did not help me. More money did not help me. And I really need to emphasize that, because a lot of people think that their problem is that they're not earning enough money. By the time we finish tonight, I'm going to totally rewire your understanding that it is not about how much money you are earning. In fact, tonight is probably going to be a deliverance session for many of you. Because some of you watching this are in your 40s, you're in your 50s, you're in your late 50s, you are even in your 60s and perhaps in your 70s. And you haven't gotten a grip of it. You still think that your problem is you're not earning enough money. No. If it is that you're not earning enough money, how do you explain my situation? How do you explain all the people around you? How do you explain some of you, I know some of you young people, earning 1.5 million a month in Nigeria? That's a lot of money. It might be little when you convert it to US dollars. That's not a lot of money if you're living in the US. But give me a break. 1.5 million a month. I know a young man earning that. And then one of you watching, you contacted me today. You are doing 800K a month. That's not a little money. And so it does not matter how much money you earn if you do not have a system. And I have discovered that most people 35 years and above struggle financially for 3 reasons. The first reason is low financial literacy. Low financial literacy. How can you explain a 55-year-old man telling me that he does not have one stock anywhere? He does not have mutual fund investment anywhere. He does not have ETFs anywhere. How can you explain that at 55? And then you're wondering why you are afraid of the future. You're wondering why, like in my own case at 42, I still had children in primary school. It's scary. It's scary. You are 42. You have 4 children, or 3 children, or 2 children. They are still in primary school. And you don't have income anywhere. And what still you are owing? Ladies and gentlemen, it's not that you're not earning enough money. You do not have a system. Okay. So it's not about not having enough money, because the statistic is that 70% of lottery winners, people who win lottery, $200 million, $400 million, 300, shocking amounts of money. They go broke without 5 years. The stories are all over the place. And then you see all these athletes, celebrities, particularly the athletes, they earn insane amounts of money within their career. But at the end of it, 4 years, 3 years, 7 years after their massive athletic career, they are out there homeless in the street. Okay? So it's because they do not have a system, not that they don't earn enough money. Okay, so without a system, even millions will betray you. With a system, even pennies will obey you. Without a system, you will hustle till you die. This is not a curse. It's a reality check. Without a system, you are going to hustle till you die. Without a system, you are going to work until you die. It's not a curse. It is reality check, because that was what was about to happen. I would have struggled till my death. I would have struggled since my 42nd, 43rd birthday until I died. And there are many places happening too. But I reversed the situation. If I didn't arrest that financial projectile, that financial course I was taking at 42, 43, I'm telling you, it would have been my sad end. And how did I reverse it? I reversed it through systems, through building systems. And today, I am a very, very blessed and happy man. Not because I have those riches and I have the $10 kind of money, or the Obi Kubana and all these people who show us their money on Facebook. I don't have, I mean, I'm not anywhere near there. But I'm telling you, systems will set you free. Systems have the power, the ability to turn 5 loaves and 2 fishes into something that can feed 50,000 people. That's the beauty of system. As I'm going to emphasize throughout this live session, systems are not for the rich. Systems are for the wise. Everybody type it in the comment section. Type it in the comment section very quickly. Okay? Systems are not for the rich. Systems are for the wise. Because some people might be saying, well, when I am rich, I will set up a system. That's a big mistake. That's a big mistake. Okay? So Monday Clarkson says you can reverse your financial situation by creating systems to govern your funds. Exactly. Turn 5 loaves and 2 fishes to feeding 5,000. Absolutely. Nelson says, dear people here, please don't just listen to this. Apply everything he says. My life is headed towards a direction I can boldly call a miracle because of my encounter with him. Thank you very much, Nelson. I'm very happy for you. Okay. Kingdom Sam says, what did he say about millions and pennies? Okay. Excuse me. So what I said is that without a system, even millions would betray you. You can have $1 million. Without a system, it will betray you. But with a system, even pennies will obey you, will serve you. And that was the context I said that with a system, with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, you can feed 5,000 because the systems are fantastic. Yes. So Isaiah says, systems are for the wise, not for the rich. Terungwa says, systems are not for the rich, systems are for the wise. Absolutely. So you really want to take this serious about creating systems after this. Don't wait until Monday morning. Once I am done with this, I'm going to show you how to start creating a simple system. You know, just show you what I've learned and then what I have done. It takes time to create a system, but once you create a system, systems set you free. Okay. Now, for another fun exercise in the comment section, tell me in one sentence, where does most of your money go every month? Where does most of your money go every month? Tell me in one sentence. Is it rent? Is it food? Is it bills? Is it black tax? I've talked about black tax a lot in a couple of my videos because I find that most people, especially excuse me, Africans in diaspora are kept perpetually in poverty because of the insane demands of people from their home countries. They want to buy iPhone 16. They call you. They want to take a taxi. They call you because they believe that you're earning millions of dollars and pounds. And it is your responsibility to fund their crazy lifestyles. And then they don't have to lift a finger. All right? So, Victoria says bills. In one sentence, type in the comment section, where does most of your money go every month? Rent, food, bills, black tax, what is it? Put it in the comment section so other people can learn. Okay, so Monday says bills, rent, debt servicing, and black tax. Yeah. I found that many of us, many of us who are 40 years and above, we suffer black tax, so much, okay? Nelson says food and black tax. Lawson says debt and food. I'm also checking on Facebook. Facebook, you are not interacting much. Type in the comment section. I can also see you on Facebook. City King says my money goes to my investment. Good for you. Okay, Akaha says utilities, fuel for a generator. Fuel for a generator. Iwala says transportation and school fees. Wilson says leisure. Okay. Sasha says, hi, Mr. Obo. Definitely black tax for me, and I don't even know how to go about it because I'm overburdened. It's been 2 decades now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I'm going to tell you what to do after this because black tax is terrible on your finances. Okay. So let me now talk about why people who are 35 years and above struggle with money. Our conversation today is that if your money does not have a system, you are going to work until you die. And that is not my desire for you. And at the end of this session, you are going to get extreme insights and guidance to help you to come out of it. Because money is easy to make. I didn't know that all my life until I discovered systems. Please type money is easy to make. Everybody type money is easy to make in the comment section. I want to install that mindset and that thought, because all our lives we were taught that money is difficult, that money is hard. And yes, it is hard if we continue to try to make money the traditional way. But money is easy to make when we have systems, as I'm going to demonstrate to you. Okay, now, I personally believe that at 35 years, maximum 40 years, anybody should be financially independent. But it didn't happen to me. It didn't happen to you. Why do I say 35? Because at 35, you have had at least 10 to 13 years after graduation and beginning to work. I graduated at 22. I graduated 1988. So 1988, I was 22. 22 and a couple of months. So now, if you work for 10 years, excuse me, and you knew what you were doing, believe me, by 35, even at that time you're getting married, you're beginning to get a family, at 35, you would have been rich and financially comfortable. If you knew how to set a system going for you from day one since you graduated, since you finished college. And it's even much better for those who didn't go to college, who started maybe trading at 18, or maybe they started something, on their own, started running their businesses at 18, at 19, at 20. 15 years should have been enough. If you knew what I'm telling you tonight, if I knew what I'm saying tonight, 15 years would have been enough for me to be financially independent. But you see, many of us have worked for 20 years, 30 years. In fact, in the comment section, everybody tell me, how long have you worked since after college? Everybody put the year, and I would like everyone to go through the comment section to see how long have you worked since you finished school, or since you started business and started trading. Everybody type it in the comment section. Marcel says 20. So now Wilson says I'm 35 but no money while working. Exactly. Wilson, we are going to change it tonight. We are going to change it tonight. Ade has worked 20 years. And then many times I ask people who have worked for 20, 30 years, what do you have to show for it? And then the sad answer is nothing. And the reason that there's nothing to show for it is no systems. Okay, so Victoria Dansoa says 15 years. Michael says I started working in 2011, so that's 14 years right now. Okay, yeah. Monday Clarkson says solid truth. I could have made it by now if I followed your guidance from the outset. Festus says 18 years. Victor says I've worked for 4 years. All right, so Victor, you are really very lucky. You are listening to this. I wish I heard this myself, when I was 30 years. Abraham Kwiku says 13 years. So there you go. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I guarantee you that anybody, anywhere in the world that has a money system, a system for his money, the system I'm going to teach you tonight, in 10 years, you will have financial rest. You will have financial rest. But it didn't happen for many of us. Imagine all the money that you earned in the past 20 years. My goodness. When I worked with Chevron, the company did something at that time that allowed, so they created a front-end application, excuse me, that allowed all the staff, all the employees of Chevron to see how much the company had paid them for all the years that they have worked with the company. So you just log into that app, put in your staff ID, and then it was going to bring out the total amount of money you made since you joined the company. Ladies and gentlemen, when I saw the amount of money that Chevron had paid me, at about that time I probably had worked with Chevron for about 4 or 5 years. When I saw it, I said it was a lie, that it was not possible, that there was no way I could have earned that kind of money. Then, you know what I did? I started going line by line, because they itemized everything, line by line, including how much they paid me anytime I went offshore to Escravos to work, including how much they paid me anytime I traveled to the United States to work in Chevron office in San Ramon, in California, or in Houston. So if I stayed 3 weeks, they paid me per diem. If I stayed 4 weeks, they paid me per diem on a daily basis. And if I remember correctly, it was a little under $200. And that was a lot of money. That's beside, of course, they've taken care of accommodation, they've taken care of flights and everything, and your movements within the, and then that, when I went line by line and saw how much the company had paid me within 5 years of working in that company, I was totally ashamed and embarrassed, because that amount of money, but I didn't pass it through system. I didn't pass it through a money system. Terrible. So for some of you who have worked for 14 years, for 20 years, if you go back and you have a way of calculating how much money had come into your account as a result of the work, your 9 to 5, as a result of the side hustles you've done, as a result of the bonuses you've received, it will amaze you. You see, because it comes as monthly salary, little at a time. you never know. But by the time you put it together, okay? So it's never the amount of money that makes you financially free, but it is the system. So now, it's not your salary that makes you rich. So somebody should type that in the comment section. It's not your salary that makes you rich. It's the system your salary enters into. I would like everybody to type that, because see, the reason I always want you to type these things is that it sinks. Your nervous system, through that act of translating the words you're hearing into some kind of kinesthetics, there's something it does to your nervous system. You kind of grab it, and you're unlikely to forget it, like if you just hear it and you don't type it. So type, it's not your salary. In fact, you can personalize it. It's not my salary that makes me rich. It's the system my salary enters into. So personalize it. It's not my salary that makes me rich. It's the system my salary enters into. That's what makes you rich. That's what makes it. You know why I'm excited and why I'm, kind of applauding this? Is because it makes being rich, it makes wealth creation accessible to anyone. Is somebody getting excited as I am? Because anybody can set up this system. Anybody can systemize their money. When you know that it is not the salary, it is a system, it frees you. Okay? It's not your salary that makes you rich. It's the system your salary enters into that makes you rich. Yes, City King, yes. Okudili, absolutely. Yes, Festus, yeah. Personalize it, absolutely. Muscle, yep. Abraham, yes. It's not my salary that makes me rich. It's the system my salary enters into. Let that sink. So that what happened to me when I worked with Shell, when I worked with Chevron, and earned all that money will not happen to you. It's not your salary that makes you rich. It's the system. Okay. So now, let me break down the nature of system. Let me break it down so that you actually understand what we are talking about. It's not something PhD. It's not something esoteric. It's not something complicated. As I'm going to explain it to you right now, even a 6-year, 7-year-old, 10-year-old will grasp it. Okay. So I want you to think about the ocean. Think about how massive the oceans of the world are. I'm trying to remember in my basic geography how many percentage of the earth's surface is ocean. If you know it offhand, please type it in the comment section. I think 75% of the planet is ocean. That is massive. So when I've flown a couple of times from Togo, from the airport in Togo, I forget the name of that airport in Togo, beautiful airport, to Newark, New Jersey, in the United States. That was when Ethiopia Airlines flew that. It used to take 13 hours to fly from Togo via Ethiopian Airlines to Newark, New Jersey. Of the 13 hours, most of them was flying across the ocean. Just to give you how massive the ocean is. Okay, so somebody has, thank you very much. Ade says it's 70%. So 70% of the earth surface. Michael, thank you very much. Princess also. And Monday, thank you for confirming that. So you can imagine, flying almost 13 hours over the ocean. That's how massive it is. So now picture the wealth of the ocean. Picture the wealth, massive water of the ocean. And let's say all the wealth, the ocean represents all the wealth in the world. Now, picture two individuals. One person has to go from his house every day to the ocean to fetch water and maybe to grab some fish to cook. Let's say that was the way the world was ordered. So of the 8 billion of us in the world, each person, people have to go to the ocean to fetch water and then to get some fish to cook and have a meal. So follow me with that, with your imagination. So now there are two kinds of individuals in the world, in the planet. Majority of the people on the planet wake up every day, they go to the ocean with their cups, or maybe with a spoon, big spoon, or maybe with a kettle to fetch water and catch one fish to come and cook in their kitchen. Every day they make that journey. Some do 100 kilometers from the ocean. Some who are in the desert, we have to travel by air because it's a long distance, or they come with camel to the Atlantic Ocean or Pacific Ocean or Mediterranean. So just that's typically what's going on. So people have to, they have to make that journey every single day to the ocean to get water and also to catch fish to eat. But picture this other group of people who decide that instead of going to the ocean on a daily basis to fetch water and to catch fish to eat, we travel 100 kilometers going to the ocean and 100 kilometers back, and the next day we do the same thing. And of course, some die along the way and some never reach the ocean. That's the metaphor of humanity. But this other group of people decide, you know what? Instead of going every day, why don't I build a pipeline connecting my house, connecting my kitchen, connecting my bank account directly to the ocean? So I live 100 miles from the ocean. Why don't I spend the next 10 years building a pipeline, connecting my house, connecting my bank account to the ocean? Instead of going there every day, I know it's going to take me 10 years to build. I know it's going to take a lot of materials. I know it's going to take a lot of energy. But once I build that pipeline once, I'm going to have water and fish and supplies for the rest of my life. And imagine that I'm going to live to be 90 and I'm 30 years. And I take 10 years between my 30th birthday and the 40th birthday to construct that pipeline. By age 40, I have the pipeline all set up and running. It means that for the next 50 years, ladies and gentlemen, I just stay in my house and the fish come and the water comes every single day. Every single day. That is what a system is. If you got it, if this thing hasn't blown your mind, what I've just, because I said it's not something esoteric, it's not something out there that you need, it's not rocket science. I have just explained to you how money system works. So this is why at the beginning I told you that if your money doesn't have a system, that you're going to work until you die. Because every day of your life, you're going to have to take up your bucket or take your little kettle and go to the ocean every single day. Now, you're doing it in your 30s, in your 20s, in your 40s, you're still managing. But by 60, your bones start complaining, your bowels start complaining. By your 70s, mobility becomes, before you can trek from your house to the ocean at 60. That's why a lot of people can't retire. That's why every time I go to the United States and I go to Walmart and I go to some of these, local businesses, and I see senior citizens, or I go to, there's one I go to in Greeley, in Colorado. So it's a thrift store, ARC store, just like what do they call this other, good, is it Good Life or something? Those stores you have across the United States, like Salvation Army. I think they used to have their own somewhere in California, which I've also gone to. Because sometimes I find some excellent deals in those places. And then I find some very good used books there. And so in that store, when I go there, I think usually on Tuesdays, they have discounts for seniors. And I was so delighted the day I discovered that I'm a senior. I was a senior in America. And when I come to Africa, people, they don't see me as senior. They still think I'm a small boy. But in America, I'm a senior. And the senior is, I think from 52, 53, somebody correct me, from 50 years in that store, that particular store. So if you're 50 and above, they will give you discount, like 20% discount. So I used to wait until Tuesdays, and I'll go there, carry all the books. Many of these books I bought there. Carry all the books, find a few nice t-shirts or something, and then I get 20% discount. But you see, when I go to those stores, and I go to like Walmart, and I see these seniors, people in their 70s, still working in these stores, because they cannot afford not to work, even though they are 74, 75. They cannot not afford to just work. Do you know why they are doing that? Because they didn't build their pipelines when they were younger, so they have to go fetch the water every single day. This is why it's important. The most important thing for you today, going forward, is not to make more money. That's not the goal. Your assignment is to build a system. Okay. Now, did you get that? Oh yeah, Agedani Kingsley, thank you very much. So, okay, yeah, 55. Oh yeah, so I'm considered a senior. Thank you very much, Otobo. Yeah, it's 55. So because I'm already 59. So that's fantastic. Sasha says, oh Lord, now I get it. How I wish I knew this 30 years ago. Imagine how financially stable I would be right now. I hope there's a way to start a system in one's 50s and above. Absolutely. Don't worry about it. It's never late. Don't worry about it. See, let me tell you a secret about systems. I literally crashed financially in my 40s. It hasn't been long that I started waking up again. It really hasn't been long. It really, like, this is 2025. By 2016, which was like 9 years ago, I was still squatting because I couldn't pay rent. But do you know what has accelerated? That's why, when you give yourself like 10-year gaps, all right? So if you're 50 now, it's okay. Give yourself to 60 to build that pipeline. If you are 30, give yourself 40 years. If you're deliberate about it, a lot can happen. It's not up to 10 years that I couldn't pay school fees. It's not up to 10 years that I got quick notice from the landlord. I couldn't pay rent. I couldn't pay my children's school fees. It's not up to 10 years that I was squatting them. It's not up to 10 years that the banks repossessed my brand new car, and I had no car. They came and drove that car in front of my children, and my second son, poor boy, he was confused because everybody liked that car. That our SUV, Nissan Armada. It was beautiful. We loved it, and as a family, driving in it, cruising in it, with the sound system, it was fantastic, and the children loved it. So you can imagine the pain, excuse me, the embarrassment when they came, repossessed this and drove it off. And then my son asked, Daddy, are they going away with our car? That was the way the world was. But I tell you, as I'm sitting here, it is way, way different. And it's under 10 years. That's what systems do for you. Systems accelerate your financial freedom. In fact, type it in the comment section, everybody. Systems accelerate your financial freedom. Yes, Sasha, so don't worry about it. It's not late, I'm telling you. You can start at 55, you can start at 60, somebody can start at 65. And then the amazing thing, Sasha, let me even tell you, the amazing thing is that the older you get, the more leverage that your systems have. So let me attempt to explain that. See, now in your 50s, you have built such solid relationships. You have acquired skills. You have acquired a level of wisdom and understanding about how life works that wasn't accessible to you in your 20s. And so once you key into the system, you will see massive acceleration. Massive acceleration. You know, I'm sitting, people are watching my videos from different parts of the world, and they are reaching out to me from different places to speak in their conference, to do certain things for them. Even just day before yesterday, an international company that I never heard about, they approached me. So they want me to do sales training for them to handle their sales retreat. And it's some good money. It's acceleration. So what I'm charging now for one-on-one session or to consult for organizations, I could never charge that when I was 30 years. Nobody would have paid me that when I was 35 years. My one-on-one session is 90 minutes and it starts from $500. And people are buying. People are buying. You know, I'll put the link. You know, if you want one-on-one to work on your finances, I'll put the link. You will see it there. $500 and people are buying. Nobody would have paid me $500 when I was 30 years. Because I don't have, at 30, I didn't have the kind of insights about life, about business, about money, about how life works that I have today. At 30, I was just married. Today, I've been married for 30 years. That is leverage. So, when you set up a system, even if it's now you are 55, there are tens of millions of young couples around the planet who are literally dying to learn what you did in 30 years in your marriage to make your marriage work. Don't you think so? Somebody type yes in the comment section. So the older you get, the better and the easier, because you have heftier leverages. You've built credibility. You've built incredible insight. So you can have acceleration in your 50s that you didn't have in your 20s. So it's not late. You know, a young man of 37, probably also in this call, you know, sent me a message. And he was like, you know, things were terrible. He was in debt. He didn't know if there was still hope and that he was running out of time. I said, no way. At 37, you are not running out of time. No. Your problem is not a time problem. Your problem is a systems problem. Oh my goodness. That's an aha moment. Drop it. Somebody drop it in the comment section. Say, my problem is not time problem. It's not a resource problem. It's not time problem. So don't start saying, oh, time is running out. I'm already 45. Time is running out. Okay, I'm 45 and my children are still in primary school. Time is running out. No. Don't go with that kind of mindset. Your problem is not time. Your problem is systems, which I'm showing you exactly how to do. And by the way, the Financial Fitness Challenge is on. The major advantage of the Financial Fitness Challenge is that you get a chance to be part of my discussion group where you help one another. And right under the description of this particular session, you are going to get a link on how to enroll in the Financial Fitness Challenge, which is basically my mentorship group. People are asking me for mentorship one-on-one. I can't do that. It's just so difficult. You know, I can't cope with the one-on-one from everybody. So that's why I created the Financial Fitness Challenge group, where you enroll and then you are there permanently. You just pay once and then you are there permanently with people from around the world, people with the same mindset, helping yourselves and helping one another to understand investing, to understand how to set up systems, to understand how to accelerate your income, to understand opportunities. Even in our world today, people are complaining in America, people are so divided about politics, along politics. People in Africa, people are divided along politics. People are complaining and weeping, oh, inflation, economic difficulties and things like that. Don't join that kind of conversation. In my mentorship group, you don't talk about that. You don't come to talk about Tinubu because it's irrelevant. If you know what you're doing, it's not the president of your country. So whichever country you are joining us from, it's not your politicians that will make you rich. It's not the economy that will make you rich. It's this things I'm telling you. Because in the midst of whatever you are going through in your country, there are people quietly, you don't know, they are not doing wrong, but there are people quietly making a lot of money, making money online, making money outside of their economy. Who told you that if you're in Nigeria, for instance, that you can only earn money from Nigeria? A lot of my income comes from outside Nigeria because it's a system that makes that happen. So in the Financial Fitness Challenge mentorship group, we don't talk about those things, but rather we are talking about what are the opportunities available right now and how can we take advantage of it. So immediately after this, you get a chance to join. In fact, if you are listening to this, it's actually $125 or 125,000 Nigerian naira. But if you're listening to this, take down this discount code. If you use this and go to the site, you are going to get a discount of $20 or 20,000 naira. So take down this discount because I'm not going to type it in the description section. It's only for people who are live here. The discount is cohort 9, capital letters, cohort 9, COHORT 9. That's it. But you have to wait for about 1 hour after this for that discount to be active. And you can use that discount. I'm not going to type it. I'm not going to put it in the description section. You're only getting it because you're listening to me here. Otherwise, it is $125. Okay, so that's what the system is. Now, we are already clear as to how lack of systems are hurting us. So I will summarize that. Then I will give you some simple step-by-step way to set up your system. Very, very simple. You can do it tonight and start implementing it. So now, there are certain ways that lack of systems is hurting you. And you need to be aware of it because the reason you want to be aware of it is that if you don't know what is hurting you, like there's a proverb that says, if you don't know where the bullet is coming from, you are vulnerable, you are in danger. But if you know that, hey, the sniper is at the top of that tree, then you are going to be okay. But the problem with snipers is you don't know where they're going to fire from. And that is the problem with our personal finance. If we don't know what is hurting us in our personal finance, we wouldn't know what strategy that we are going to use to deal with it. Okay, so there are 3 ways that lack of systems is secretly hurting you. The first is you are busy, but still broke. You're busy, but you're still broke. In some parts of the world, I don't live in Lagos. Lagos is one of those places. Sometimes it's also in Accra because I've lived in Accra, in Ghana. If you miss a couple of minutes to leave your house, I was staying in East Legon at the time, working in airport residential. If you don't leave your house at a certain time and the traffic gets you, it could take you 2 hours to do what would typically be a 10-minute drive. Lagos is worse. You've got to wake up every day at 4 a.m. and then drive through a traffic. If you miss leaving your house at 5 a.m., Instead of getting to your office at 6 a.m., you're going to get to your office at 10 p.m. If anybody lives in these cities, you can confirm what I'm talking about. Just confirm it in the comment section. So, if you don't have a system, you are busy, but then you are still broke at the end of the month. You can't tell where the money went. You ask yourself, where did all the money go? So that is how lack of systems is secretly hurting you. Okay, you wake up early, you grind late, your chase multiplies, the hustles. And the problem I have seen with a lot of people I've coached is that in this 9 to 5 thing, they don't even have the time to look for an alternative. They don't even. So a young woman, graduate, was teaching in a primary school. She was paid pittance. It couldn't even take what she was paid, couldn't even fund her transportation to the school. But she just didn't want to stay home idle. So she was paid peanuts. And I asked her, why don't you look for another job? She said she doesn't have to, that the proprietress of the school wouldn't let her, her eyes were always on her. She had to be there like 7 a.m. and she had to leave by 6 or something every day. And I said, what about Saturdays? She said, Saturdays, so not only are you being paid peanuts, you do not even have the opportunity to look for alternatives or even alternative jobs. That's a problem that not having a system creates. There's also the social pain. You're busy, but you're broke. And when you show up in the social context, wedding, school reunion, or things like, you are dodging people. You are dodging your friends. You are dodging family, because they are expecting you to show something. Like we say in this part of the world, they're expecting you to drop something, but it's not there. Okay, so being busy without a system is like running on a treadmill. You are sweaty, you are tired, but you're still in that very same spot. Number 2, the second way that lack of systems is hurting you is that you're living on hope, not a plan. You're living on hope, not a plan. So you're telling yourself, I will save next month, I will invest when I earn more. But nothing changes year after year. Is there somebody here who has been in that situation? You keep telling yourself, okay, by next 6 months, I would have saved this amount of money and then I will invest. 6 months have come and gone. We are past the first half of the year. You don't have any savings. And then, for the people who are very, very religious, you're praying for financial breakthrough, but you're ignoring the wisdom to create system, to create order. And you're frustrated because you keep praying and praying and praying. Money doesn't fall from heaven. God answers prayers, but you've also got to create order. You've also got to get a system that will receive that money. So hope is not a money plan. Hope is not a money plan. Systems are. The third way that lack of systems is hurting you is that you are locked out of wealth systems. You are locked out. You don't have access to wealth systems. You are not connected. You're not connected to the stock market. You're not connected to, we're talking about crypto. You're not connected about the systems to make money online. You're not even connected to systems that allow you to earn money on YouTube. So, or TikTok, or Facebook. Yeah, these systems are available. They are there. They are there working automatically. And I can tell you, because it works for me. So, you are locked out of wealth systems. So, Netflix auto-deducts every month, but your savings doesn't. So, pension funds, stocks, real estate, business systems, they all exist, but you're standing outside. Okay, so you're watching others, you're watching some of your friends building wealth while you're secretly boiling with envy. That's a big problem. So Ignoring financial systems doesn't shield you, it starves you. Ignoring financial systems like the stock market, the crypto, the real estate, the mutual funds, the ETFs, the treasury bills, the federal government savings bond, all these amazing, the commodities, gold, silver, you are locked out of them. But these are the systems that will actually help you. Okay. So now, for this concluding part, let's talk about how to build your first money systems to start healing the damage that it had caused. So I want to frame it in a very simple way for you to understand. But in the Financial Fitness Challenge, my mentorship group, actually, we go into depth, and each step, each of the modules actually provides you with worksheets that allow you to reflect, even as a family or with your spouse, to reflect on your finances. Because I tell you, money is easy to make, but on the condition that you have a system. Okay. So the simple framework for creating your money system is this. There are only 3 activities, 3 competencies, 3 skills, if you like, 3 components of making money, of becoming wealthy, of creating more money than you can spend. Because believe me, that's a goal that is reachable. That's actually my goal, to make more money than I can spend. In fact, I am making more than I can spend, because left for me, if it's just for me and my wife, I don't need to lift a finger. But we have dreams. My wife has had a dream to set up orphanages in different African countries. I have dreams to work with young people across Africa, across the Caribbean. I love the Caribbean. I love the Pacific countries. So I have a dream to be able to do that. I see myself, I could wake up today and say, for the next 3 years, I want to live in Senegal. Just helping communities to turn around communities, teaching them what I'm teaching you. I want to see myself, after living 3 years in Senegal, I move to Morocco or to Rwanda or to Congo. My heart goes for Congo. One of the most gifted parts of any kind of resources you can think about, nature, solid minerals, forests, biodiversity, everything. Congo. But the poverty there is demonic. I want to live in the Congo for 5 years, turning communities around, teaching them simple concepts, teaching them about the relationship between spirituality and wealth, teaching them about the importance of the self-image and self-worth. The way you look at yourself affects your money. As a community, going every day, teaching them simple skills, bringing influence, from people, from my friends from India, friends from the US, friends from Germany, to come set up trade schools, teach them how to weld, teach them how to, do all kinds of things. So I want to do that. And that's why I want to make more money than I can spend, because you are not wealthy if everything is just revolving around you. You are not wealthy until that wealth actually starts spilling out. Because the purpose of wealth is not for you to sit and, eat and drink. Like the foolish man that Jesus talked about. Said he had such a mighty harvest from his investment. He sat down and said, okay, now my soul, relax. And then eat and be fat and be merry, because now you are rich. That's not the purpose of wealth. Of course, he lost his soul. So there are only 3 competencies to be able to create that kind of wealth. Every single person here should desire to make more money than you can spend. In one of my books, I joked that you know you're rich. I mean, for men, say that you know you are wealthy when you make more money than your wife can spend. That's one way you can measure it. If and the wives in the room, you can confirm. The only time husband is wealthy is when he can make more money than you can spend. Okay, so I haven't gotten there yet. I don't think I have more money than she can spend. So I have to control it now, because just one day the whole thing can finish. But it has to be, you have to have that desire. So 3 competencies. Number 1, I use 3 M's. You need a skill to make money. Somebody type it in the comment section as I'm talking about it. So you need a skill to make money. That's the first M. The second, skill. You need a skill to manage money. The second M. And then the third M, you need the skill to multiply money. Personal finance is not more complicated than what I just told you. My particular gift is to be able to reduce abstract and complicated concepts into little capsules and tablets that anybody can swallow. So you need 3 skills. That's all. That's all. You do not need anything extra. You do not need to go and burn candle by the graveside. You do not need to go for somebody to give you holy water and prophesy big money to you. No! You did not need to go to any prophet or palm reader to read your palm and tell you, okay, this and this, and that you're going to become wealthy. No! You just need these 3 things. If you can build 3 skills, the skill to make money, the skill to manage it, and the skill to multiply money. That's all. That's all. Now, why is that important? Because a lot of people actually know how to make money. They have amazing money-making skills. If you have a friend like that, you can let me know. Because I've seen many people, they make money. It's like they just wake up and make money. Money just comes to them so easily. In fact, I'm thinking about a young woman now. Everything she touches turns to gold. So making money is a skill. And then if you don't even make money, if you don't develop this very first skill, you can't even start talking about managing money, because how can you manage what you've not made? So it becomes like the primary skill. And then there's a video I have done on the 7 ways, I think it's 7 ways or so, to make money. 7 things that you do anytime, any day. If you trigger any of them today, you make money. So the 7 skills to make money. But making money is not enough. Making money is not enough. You also need the second skill to manage it. Because there are people who make money, but they can't manage it. They make lots of money. There are people I know in sales. These guys can sell. They can sell a building. They can sell a property. And earn a property for $400,000 and earn 5% or 10% commission. Just like this. So they have the skill for selling. And in fact, selling is the most important skill when it comes to making money. The skill for making money. Selling is number 1. If you can't sell, you will go hungry. So now, you need to be able to manage it. What does managing it entail? It entails being able to tell your money where to go as it is coming. Because if you don't tell your money where to go, it will default to entertainment. And as you can tell, entertainment is not legacy. Because the moment you've drunk it through alcohol, or the moment you've spent it buying a car to impress your neighbor, or paying rent in a place that you have no business paying rent, it's gone. So you have the skill to manage the money, to tell it where to go. And then the skill to multiply money. That is what takes the 5 loaves and 2 fish and multiply them to something that can feed 20, 50, 100,000 people. That's where you build or you display or you implement your investment skills. Because every money that comes into your wallet or comes into your account has two parts. There is the seed, and then there is the bread. The bread is what you eat. The seed is what you sow. But people typically eat the bread and they eat the seed. And then they wonder why they are poor, and they wonder why they are broke. Because that money that you should have sown, invested, you ate it together as bread. And so you sowed nothing. Okay. Therefore, setting up a money system means that you are going to create 3 subsystems. System number 1 for making money. In this system, you are asking yourself, how do I make money? How do I earn money every day? That question will change your life. One of the modules in the Financial Fitness Challenge is everyday money. Setting up a system to earn money every day. Because the beginning of financial abundance is cash flow. Type it. The beginning of financial abundance is cash flow, not cash, but cash flow. And whoever told you that you can only earn money once a month was a fraud. We spend money every day. You have so many debits every day. You eat food every day. You move from one place to the other. You pay transportation. You pay rent. You pay all kinds of things every day. And you are earning money only once in a month. Something is wrong with that picture. But do you know that everyday money exists? And so you need to set up a system. And I emphasize this in the Financial Fitness Challenge because the moment you start earning money every day, we are not talking about big amounts of money. We are talking about, even if it is $5 a day, even if it's $10 a day, even if it is 20 cedis a day, even if it is 10,000, 5,000 naira a day. My friend, that is the beginning of wealth. 5,000 naira that comes to you every single day, which is called predictable income, is called consistent income, is much more powerful and healthier for your net worth, for your wealth, than $5,000 that comes in occasionally and you don't even know when it does. So you have to set up a system to earn money every day. I have a system that brings in money in local currency and foreign currency every single day without fail. Like I said, it's not a lot of money. But even if it is $5 in US dollars, it must drop every single day. And even if it's 10,000 naira, it must drop every single day. And the system is so easy. I have ebooks, I have courses, I have digital products that's there that I created once, set it up. When I'm sleeping, somebody in Uganda buys it. I wake up and I see an alert. When I'm sleeping, someone in Kano, someone in Johannesburg buys my digital product. I wake up and then they tell me, the platform says you have this money waiting. It's simple. That's why I said that money is easy to make if you have system. So you need to ask yourself, what system can I put in place to earn money every day? Because what everyday money allows me to do is incredible. I am literally able to invest every single day. In fact, there was a month I said every day I must invest. How was I able to do that? If nothing was coming in every day, if I had to wait for salary to come at the end of the month, how in the world could I have invested every single day? It wasn't possible. But the moment you start opening your mind to this awareness and to this possibility, you will be amazed the opportunities available for you to earn money every day. So you have to set up that system. And there are many things that allow you to earn money every day. Intellectual property is one of them. In fact, I was reading online the other day about Bob Marley's wife. I understand that she after Bob Marley died, for many of you who were just born in the 90s, you probably wouldn't have read about Bob Marley, but he was a legendary musician, a reggae artist from Jamaica. And he died, I don't remember whether it was 1981 or 1982, and I don't remember how old he was, but it appears that he was in his 30s. But do you know why I mentioned Bob Marley? Up to today. So the guy died. If you know the date, please, you can tell me, the date that he died. So whether it was 1981 or 1982, that would mean 40-something years ago. But do you know that every year since that time, Bob Marley has been earning money from the grave, millions of dollars in royalty. Mia Mix says there's Bob Marley headphones and weed. Okay, I don't understand that though. Okay, yeah, not encouraging cannabis. Yeah. Okay, so I'm speaking specifically financial wisdom here. Okay, and the power of intellectual property. The same thing happening to Michael Jackson. The guy is dead, but every single year from the grave, he's making millions of dollars into his estate. Chinua Achebe, the African writer, he wrote Things Fall Apart. He died many years ago, maybe up to 10 years or more. He's still making money from his literary work. Miles Monroe from the Bahamas died about 10 years ago. He is still making money from his intellectual property, from the grave, making money for his family. Why? System. Do you know that if you die without a system like that you leave nothing behind for the people you love? Imagine spending all these years, then you exit the earth and nothing for the people that you love. And then some people actually leave debt behind. I know a case in the village. They refused to bury the man because they said he was owing a lot of money. And they refused to, the villagers refused for him to be put into his grave. So the guy couldn't even rest after death. Until the children had to find money, borrow money, and pay what he was owing. I think they used to have like all this age grade, they call it meeting in the village. I don't know if they have it in your village, but they have all this social something. So the guy had borrowed so much money, didn't pay. What a way to live the world. Others are living wealth. Bob Marley is leaving wealth to his wife and children. They can't finish that money. In the next 100 years, he's still earning money. And then you're living debt. Do you know why? You know why you would do it? You will do it if you don't have a system. Because if you don't have a system and you're working till death, how in the world will you even leave something behind for anybody? Okay, so system number one is the system to make money, consistent income, possibly every day. Possibly every day. Like in Nigeria, even people who ride these motorbikes and these tricycles, or people who own retail stores, they get cash flow on a single day. And then right now, the thing is so easy, so democratized, because people are selling on platforms like Gigi every single day. People are selling online, selling on WhatsApp. There's no excuse for anybody listening to this not to sell every day. And it is not their product. They get things from Temu. They buy from Temu, and they advertise it on WhatsApp, and they are selling. So they buy for $10, and then they sell for $20 every single day. Little items that people are using. You can earn money every day. So set up the system to earn money every day. Challenge yourself. Challenge. In fact, everybody type in the comment section, I can earn money every day. Because the people doing it don't have two heads. And if somebody is doing it, you can do it as well. Second system or subsystem in your money system is a system for managing your money. Because if you don't tell your money where to go, the money will choose where to go. And money will default to entertainment. Okay. So you've got to tell your money where to go. So that's the second subsystem. The system for managing money. So, and I can share my own example, for you, with you. Mine is, as income drops in my account, it goes to 3 places as it drops into my account. Money does not stay in my account for 24 hours as part of my system. As part of my system, there's only a certain amount of money that I allow in my account. And that takes care of things like, fuel, things like food, grocery, and things like, it takes care of all these things. Or things like, maybe I have to repair the car. So what stays there? Because the worst thing, in my own opinion, that anybody can do is to just put his money in an idle, in a savings account. That's a terrible thing to do. So the only money that stays in my bank account is the money I use for, everyday, settling everyday needs. So once it comes, there is a part of it that goes into this cash flow account, this everyday needs account, sustaining myself, food, transportation and things like that. The other one goes into investment account. There are 2 investment accounts, 2 specific investment accounts. So one is my dividend stocks that I do not intend to sell like forever and ever. The dividend stocks, my dividend stocks are going into my living trust. And that's another thing that we're going to talk about, living trust or setting up a trust. Like I'm discovering a lot of things that the wealthy people do. And wealthy people use trusts. So this dividend investing, so some money goes in there. And what I did was to separate my brokers. So I have 3-4 stockbrokers, but I'm actively trading with 2 of them. On this one, I do my dividend investing. These are stocks I keep buying, I never sell. So I have those stocks I keep buying, I never sell. The amazing stocks that will still be doing well in the next 10, 20, 30 years. And these stocks will also fund my retirement. And they're really very powerful because some of the dividends coming from them are already taking care of my, basic necessities. The third account where I tell the money to go is my penny stocks account. So these are my speculative accounts, and these are also where I invest in some growth stocks that might actually, if they do well, they cost a penny, but in 3 to 5 years, that penny might actually become, 500, 1,000. The $20 that you buy the stock, in 3 to 5 years, they might do so well that the $20, before you know it, become like $184 or $200. There have been stocks that did that. There have been stocks that do that. So that's my system. And it's semi-automatic. Semi-automatic because I don't use percentages, but I will encourage you to use percentages that work for you. Because sometimes everything that comes in goes into the dividend. Sometimes everything goes into the penny stocks. And then sometimes I split them equally. Because my needs are not so much. I eat once a day. there's not too much. I mean, there's not, my needs are not too much. And I don't go clubbing and all those things. So the money has a place to go. And then part of it also goes to generosity, to what I call random acts of kindness, where you just do, I do things for people, random people who were not expecting it. So that's where, for instance, we pay school fees of indigent students, and then we do all kinds of things. We help people with hospital bills, my wife and I, and then things like that. So you see, that's a system, meaning that I don't have to think twice when money comes in. I already have a system to automatically allocate it. Because the time you start having issues with your money is when there's got to be hesitation. When money comes in and then there is hesitation because there was no plan for it, then that money will likely suffer. Yeah, Mia says tithes and offering. Yes, part of that actually goes into our giving. Our giving, we have a way that we give, because giving is a very important part of financial freedom. Give and it shall be given unto you. So giving is just important. And then, but we are very, very sensitive to God's guidance to where to give. We don't just give money to anywhere or to any church or anything, just anyhow. We listen to him and he says give. And then many times it's not tithe. Sometimes he has said give everything. I remember when I got paid for some consulting work to do. When I got the payment, I was rejoicing. I was so excited. Oh my goodness, I have money. And then the Holy Spirit said, give this money to widows, to 5 widows. I needed to pay school fees at the time. I needed a lot of things at the time. But you see, I'm just a steward. All of us are stewards. Do you know that we are not going to go with a cent the day we die? We won't even know the kind of cloth that they will use to bury us. You can't go with anything, with a cent. Meaning that you and I are stewards. That's why you don't hold anything so tightly that you can't release it. That's why you don't hold anything so tightly. My wife and I have given out five cars, 5 vehicles. 2 minibuses, 1 car, 1 SUV, and then another car. Because, actually 3 minibuses. And I love those vehicles. I wanted them. But God said, give it out. And then I did. Because I'm only a steward. And you are a steward. And so if you approach money that way, you're going to be wealthy. So money is not a do or die thing. It's not something that you're going to sell your soul for. And what I've discovered is that when God sees that you are the kind of person, you are that kind of person, then he can entrust wealth with you. My wife and I were flying back from the United States in midair. The Spirit said to me specifically, see, that's your car. That's your very car. Mention that very car. I said, give it to such and such a family when you come back. And touchdown in Lagos, we took the vehicle and gave the guy and his family. Even though I didn't have another one, and I've been trying to, and this was last year, I still don't have a car. So I wasn't giving because I was expecting, okay, just give and then, God will do times 10. No, I give because it is his own. Everything I have belongs to him. And because I have that kind of heart, God doesn't have issues with trusting me with wealth. But if you're the kind of person, you really love money. You're the kind of person that will do anything, compromise your values to get money. You might end up making the money, but you're not going to be a happy individual. Okay, so it's part of his giving, is the part of his system. That's basically the summary. And then the third part of the system is a system for multiplying your money, which I've also indirectly talked about. So I have to choose what vehicles can I use to multiply my money. So you have different kinds of vehicles, and for different individuals, there are opportunities, and then there are different kinds of vehicles accessible to you that you really, because not everybody, for instance, can invest in crypto. Not everybody might want to do stocks. Some people might want to do ETFs. Some people might want to do forex. Some people might want to whatever. Some people might want to go into commodity to buy gold, and to buy silver, or to trade oil, trade wheat, and things like that. So you've got to decide what vehicle will be part of your system for multiplying your money. Money is meant to be multiplied. Money is meant to be multiplied. Don't let money die in your hand. So you've got a system that will send every dollar to work. So usually what I do, every single dollar I make, I see as my employee. So if I wake up tomorrow and I've earned $170, I see it as 170 soldiers, 170 employees. When you look at money that way, when you look at money as your employees, it changes a lot of things. So I don't destroy my employees. I praise them, I encourage them, and then I give them specific roles, things to do. So I might have this particular employee, I say to them, okay, you are responsible for building that house that we are doing in the village. We are going to complete it in 2 years. And we are going to need this and this and this and that. So I need you to work hard. You are $1, but what we need is 15 to complete the house. So I need you to work hard. I'm going to encourage you. I'm going to nurture you. I need you to work hard so that in 3 years, you will become 15. Do you understand? And then the dollar says to me, yes, sir. So you see, every naira, every cedi, every amount of money that comes into your hand as your employee, send it on a message. You see, money has a way, of naturally multiplying itself. So you just need to agree. You just need to get the money to agree with you. And money will happily multiply themselves. Because what money does, when I send money on an errand, money is going around and it's telling others. So my $1 is telling another $1. I say, my Oga, my boss is a good man. My boss is a good man. He has a good heart. I would like to introduce you to him. That's how $1 becomes $2. And then two of them, so that one meets me. And then I pack that second dollar at the back and say, cool, yeah, well done, thank you, you're welcome here. And then I send out both of them. And then those two soldiers, those $2, talk to other, they go in a group. They see a group of $6 that somebody has wasted. $6, So that guy who had the $6 was buying some alcohol or something, or buying drugs with it. And then my $2 go to them, to the $6, and say, oh, wait a minute. Looks like your boss, your owner is abusive. Why is he just abusing? Why did he throw you away like that? Or he missed the dollars, $200 that somebody has given a woman for a one-night stand. So my $2 goes to the $200 and says to them, oh my goodness, what an abuse. And then the dollars are very sad. Those $200, it's terrible. It's terrible. Even my new owner, see what she's going to do with me. It's terrible. And then my $2 say to them, oh, wait a minute. But you would like to meet our boss. Why don't you, when she kicks you out, why don't you follow? Let's introduce you to our boss. My $2 bring those $200 to meet me. Then when the $200 come to meet me, I say, oh, hello, how are you? Oh, I understand that you've had such a very, very rough day. I'm really, really sorry, but I have some noble work for you to do, and I'm really a good man. And then they like me. Now it has become $202. And then the $202 go, they see $5,000 somewhere that somebody, used to buy Louis Vuitton bag, just to impress her girlfriends, not because she really needed it, but she just wanted to impress everybody that she shopped in Dubai and that she bought Louis Vuitton. So my $202 will go to the $5,000 and say, oh, are you guys happy? Say, no, we're not happy. Just look at it. Look at what 5,000 of us. She just imprisoned us, put us here in this, vanity and things like that. I'm letting my $202 say, oh, wait a minute, but we'd like to introduce you to our, this is how money multiplies. Yeah, like somebody says, money is conscious. They talk with each other. And when they find you a worthy steward, they multiply in your hands, even naturally. Even naturally. During the last bull run in the Nigerian stock market, that was about April, May, June. April, May, June. Some of my stock picks did 300%. Within a period of 6 weeks. Some of my stock picks did 100. In fact, most of them did more than 100. I bought ICO insurance, for instance, at 1 naira 61 kobo. 1 naira 64 kobo. ICO went all the way during that bull run to 400 and something. Because they like me. I'm a good master. I'm a good manager. I don't waste them. I don't abuse my dollars. I don't abuse my money. I bought consolidated, I bought UPDC for about $3.96. UPDC went all the way to 9 naira something. That's over 300%. And I had more than 1 million shares of those within 1 month. So money naturally likes to multiply. So the problem is not the money. The problem is that you don't give your money the chance to work for you. You are working for your money. You're working for your money. But your money says, give me a chance to work for you. You can never work better for your money than your money can work for you. If you implement this as I'm telling you, you will see that when I say that money is easy to make, have I not proven that to you? Type in the comment section. Give me a yes. With what I've told you now, don't you see how easy it is to make money? But we choose the hard way. We choose the hard way. And the hard way is the way without systems. Okay. All right, so tell me, this is the time I can take your aha moments. You remember our ritual. What were your aha moments? It's really nice for me to know. And again, it also helps other people, especially people who would watch this later, to see the insights that you can get. So type your aha moments in the comment section. Type your aha moments, and I'm going to read it out. And then, please be kind to let me know where you are joining from. Type the country that you are joining from, and then your aha moment. Okay, so let me read a couple of them. Robinson says, my aha moment is not how much you earn, but where your money goes. A good system solves that, and I need a robust, consistent, ideally daily earning system. Fantastic. Okay. Optimistic says, let our money work, from Ghana. Yeah, please, when you tap your aha moment, just let me know what country you're joining us from. Mia Mix says, some people are consumers. Nelson says, I can never work better for money than money can work for me. Absolutely. That's a fantastic aha moment. Keep your aha moments coming. Okay, Nelson also says, I've noticed a change in my inflow since I started being more calculative with my money. Fantastic. Mia Mix also says, your dollar are morally conscious. Fantastic. Yeah. Okay, very good. I still have a problem with this black tax. Okay, I hardly give. I mostly fall for black tax instead of freely giving. Okay, so you want to be a bit more intentional about your giving. Agadani Kingsley says, money is easy to make. Robinson says, when can you begin the crypto training you promised? I'm still learning. Crypto is not something you, crypto is not something that I don't think it's for everybody actually. For me, I think that from my experience, if you want to start out with crypto, start with what you can afford to lose. So I want to go through the cycle of understanding and the cycle of all the whatever before I can teach other people. I'm still learning under a mentor myself. So be patient, it will come. But I believe that crypto is a very, very excellent vehicle, very good one, because of the changes that we seem to be having in the financial revolution that it seems that we might have in our financial systems globally. So crypto is a place to. But in the meantime, before I do my crypto training, go ahead and learn and read all about it. Okay, first one says, money is easy to make. It needs a system, from Abuja. All right. Okay, Mia makes fantastic aha moment. Says, talk to your money and give it instructions. Absolutely. Give your money instructions. Robinson is joining us from the UK. Victoria Dansoa from USA says, it's not too late to create money systems. Absolutely not, Victoria. Eminence from Kaduna, Nigeria. I have many aha moments. Let us know about it. Okay, Monday Clarkson says, aha moment, 3 M's, skills to make, manage, and multiply money. Ade says, I wish you were here 15 years ago, sir, offshore Nigeria. Never mind, it's never late. Okay, Frank says, give your money instructions, it goes to multiply for you. Fantastic. Oh, Monday, fantastic. Monday says, I have solid crypto experience, and then you can contribute. All right, so when I start my crypto training, I will reach out to you through this medium. How do you inculcate building project in your financial system? That's a good one, actually. You put it in the management part of your system. But if the building is something you are doing, for instance, for rentals, then of course it can go into your multiplication, money multiplying subsystem. But if you're building to live, you want to do, you want to put it in the management subsection first. And so you know that the project is going to cost you, let's say 100 million, and then you have 2 years to complete the project. So you basically divide the 100 million by 24 months to know that this is the basic minimum, that once income drops, this is what you're going to put there. If it is real estate, it's the same thing. In the money management system, you create another category for real estate. So once the money drops in, you send it directly to that project. So I hope that helps. Okay, Kingsley says money is easy to make if you are in a system. Amazing. Yes. Gentle One says the beginning of financial abundance is cash flow. Joining from Nigeria. Fantastic. Adeniro Oluroti says, aha moment. Can you tell us some dividend stocks? US stocks. I have Apple. I have Nvidia. I have, 2 more. I invest using Bamboo. Here in the Nigerian stock market, I have Presco, which is actually like my top. I have GT Bank. I have Zenith. I have Dangote Cement. I have MTN and a couple others. Okay, so I hope that helps. Sasha is joining from East Africa. Aha moment is that it's never too late to start building a system. And I realize I have experience, networks, and a lot I can leverage. Fantastic, fantastic. Frank says, I am improving in daily habit as to set a system. Okay, Nelson is joining from Lagos in Nigeria. Frank also from Lagos. Okudili says, my money works better for me than I can work for it. Abebe says, starting from today, I plan to give my money a mission. Fantastic. To work for me and build me wealth. Okay. Jane Muviti says, Jane, where are you joining us from? Says, thank you for the light. Oh, Jane is joining us from Kenya. Okay, fantastic. Clara says, can someone still do this after 66? Absolutely. So let me say again, Clara, the way things work is not by age, it's by consciousness. The ancient in my village have a saying, and these ancient people were very, very wise. They were very wise. They spoke from the mind of God many times. So they said that whenever you wake up is your morning. If you wake up at 25, it's morning. If you wake up at 66, it's morning. Yes, you can do it. Even at 70, you can do it. I have seen a gentleman in University of Lagos. He went back. I think he didn't go to school. He didn't go to the university. So after he retired, he went back to school at 70 or something to study French or something like that. Graduated at 75. And I think I heard that the guy registered for his PhD at 70-something. I have also seen a documentary about a 92-year-old Japanese man who went back to college, and he was trotting along with his great grandchildren, going to lecture halls and things like that. It is possible. So don't let anybody play this age card. And the truth is, when you realize it, it actually makes you younger, because if your spirit wakes up and your consciousness wakes up with a dream, with a passion, you see, at 70, if you give yourself a vision for 40 years or 50 years, you will be amazed how young you are going to stay, how young you are going to look at 60, at 90, and how young you are going to look at 100. Because what keeps people alive that long is that there's a vision, there's a mission, there's something in their spirit that's keeping them going. So give yourself a big dream. Give yourself a reason to be alive, and you'll be amazed. Give yourself a reason to be alive, and you'll be amazed. It will now pull everything together. So yes, you can do it at 66. Okay, Kingsley says again, if you don't tell your money where to go, it will fly away with wings. Okay, very good. Mia says, word of wisdom is not by age, it's rather by consciousness. Absolutely. Your true age is consciousness. Your true age is not physical years. So that's why you might find a little kid that's 12 years, but the thing that comes out of the wisdom that comes out, haven't you seen children like that? You see even a child, 7 years, and then sometimes the thing that comes out of the mouth of that child is just incredible. Then you see a 30-something-year-old woman, the wisdom that comes out of this. I've met young women in their 20s, the incredible, when they speak, the way they reason, you say, no way, there's no way 22-year-old should be speaking like this, because that's like an 80-year-old consciousness. So you don't measure age truly, you don't measure age by the calendar of night and day. You measure age by consciousness, by what you've become conscious of, by the contents of your consciousness. That's how you measure age. Okay, and Stephen says, I just realized that it's never too late. And then Tunji says, whenever you wake up is your morning. Absolutely. Okay, Mia says, it's not by age, it's rather by consciousness. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I've enjoyed this comeback this time with you. Incidentally, I'm not sure that I have the bandwidth for the rest of this year to do it every day like we did every weekday. So what we are going to be doing at this moment is Sunday evenings like this and Wednesday evenings. So just mark your calendar for Sunday evening at 8 p.m. and then Wednesday evening at 8 p.m. we will have this live. But I do encourage you for continual contact with me to join the Financial Fitness Challenge. And because you've stayed till this time, I have given you that discount code. You go to that site, put the discount code, and then it will slash off $20, 20,000 naira for you. And then whatever currency you are paying from, you pay with, it will slash off that equivalent of $20 for you. And then you have access to all the worksheets so that you don't just hear this, but you also have worksheets and guidance to implement it. And not only that, you have people from different parts of the world that you are networking with, solving your problems, for one another. And so whatever happens, ladies and gentlemen, keep showing up. I love you all. I really do. And I can guarantee you that wherever you are in life, it's not late. And I can guarantee you that your life will tremendously change as you implement these things you are learning. That in another 1 to 2 years, when I jam you somewhere, when I meet you somewhere at an airport in Singapore or an airport in China or in Johannesburg or in the United States or in the UK, that you are going to come to me and say, thank you. These things really helped me, and that you have started making more money than you can spend. So I love you all, and then you have a wonderful evening wherever you have joined from. And then I also pray that you have a fantastic and a productive week starting tomorrow, Monday, and I will see you again on Wednesday. God bless you and good evening.